Hey everybody, it's Matt from endsickness.org. Today I'm going to be talking about how I defeated mast cell activation syndrome. First, we're going to talk about my mast cell activation story. I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia when I was 20. I was extremely sick, lost 80 pounds, had systemic candida, rashes all over my body, ribs showing, acne, couldn't exercise, couldn't eat anything but 6 different foods, couldn't go to the bathroom for 2+ years of my own. I had to use enemas. The list goes on of all the things I couldn't do. So I was in the worst case scenario. Little did I know I had a parasite in my liver, all right, a dianthomeba fragilis in my liver gallbladder area. And little did I know mast cell activation was the cause of autoimmune disease. And I did not know that at the time. So for years and years I struggled and tried to take this, tried to take that, but I didn't realize that the things I'm about to teach you here to help you get out of this situation. So let me go over the things that you got to do, in my opinion, to be able to get over mast cell activation. Hopefully this will help you. Number 1, identify hidden irritants, okay? If you are eating something that is causing your symptoms to worsen, you will have a difficult time getting over mast cell activation, all right? Most of the time you want to stick with fruits, vegetables, starches, okay? Plant-based oils. You don't really want to do a whole lot of animal products. In most cases, that is problematic. Depending upon how bad the situation is, that will determine if you can handle meat or not. If you can still handle meat, you are not as sick as a lot of other people who I've worked with who are eating meat that must remove it to get over this. All right? I repeat, some people have to remove meat to beat mast cell activation. You cannot beat mast cell activation with 2 meals of meat a day. I'm telling you that right now. Okay? So number 1, identify the hidden irritants in the food. You want to stick with bland foods, not multi-ingredient foods. Simple diet, simple enough so you can view your food log as you create a food log, view the foods you're eating, and then be able to tell which ones are causing you problems and not. If you got 10 different ingredients at each meal, you're not going to be able to find out which foods are causing you problems. So you got to identify the hidden irritants. Most important or easiest way to do that for food is to create a dietary log. On the left-hand side, you write what you ate. On the right-hand side, you write how you feel. And that is critical to be able to determine which foods are working and which ones are not working. That's also important for you to write down your supplements on this log. As I'll mention, the pharmaceuticals, whatever you're taking, so you can see where the symptoms get worse and then make the correlations. If you don't connect the dots between what you're taking or exposing yourself to and how you're feeling, you will be stuck in this cycle for possibly forever, right? You have to make those correlations, and this is what I do with my clients. I help them to increase awareness so they understand what's making things worse, what isn't, and what to do next, So another hidden irritant outside the diet would be environment, all right? This might be the most important one. If you are in an environment where you're inhaling things that are triggering your immune system to be overactive, then you will not be able to get over mast cell activation, okay? You will be reacting to foods. You'll be reacting to all kind of stuff that doesn't make sense, all because you're inhaling something. Could be something you smell, could be mold, could be fragrances, could be anything synthetic, okay? Or it could be something you can't smell. It could be odorless, all right? My daughter also had mast cell activation when she was younger, and I had to remove her from multiple places we lived at because each of these things had issues things that were causing her issues. This is carpet fibers. Stuff that was stuck in the carpet. This is mold, slight gas leak. The list goes on. She even had 2 seizures in the presence of these things, it's very real. If you have an environmental issue and you do not deal with it, you will not be able to deal with the rest of the issues you have because you're going to be inhaling it constantly, and it's not going to allow your immune system to calm down and recondition itself. Another one, supplements. If you're taking supplements that are synthetic, you're not going to be able to get over this condition. They have to be plant-based supplements or plant-derived natural supplements, and they have to all be mast cell modulators, okay? They all have to be mast cell modulators, I repeat. If you're taking anything that doesn't calm down the immune system, it is making you worse, period, okay? Anything synthetic is typically a problem. It could be inhaled, it could be fragrances, it could be pills, pharmaceuticals, etc. The last one I want to go over is pharmaceuticals. If you're taking pharmaceuticals, most of these alter the immune function. This could be antidepressants, anxiety medication. It could be mast cell medication. all right? It could be something for your stomach. If it affects the immune system, you're going to be sabotaging yourself in your recovery, okay? So the people I've had the least amount of success with are the people that are on multiple pharmaceuticals, all right? These people are very difficult to be able to help them get through mast cell activation. So you must identify and remove these hidden irritants. If you do not, you will be stumped in your healing process, okay? Next, you must rotate your diet and supplements. If you keep taking the same supplements every day, and they're synthetic, and they're not modulating mast cells, you're gonna have a problem, all right? What happens is most people take supplements the first day or two, they're saying, oh, supplements are working out for me. They don't realize on day 10 though, they start causing them symptoms. But they keep taking them because they're convinced that they're helping them. So you must make sure you are not taking synthetic supplements, once again, naturally derived mast cell modulators, okay? And even those you don't want to take every day. You want to take various ones, maybe once every other day, 2 days on, a day off, depending upon the supplement and what it does for you. In my experience, that's the most important thing with these supplements. You do not want to take them every day. You want to rotate them based upon what your goal is with them, right? Diet, okay? You must rotate your foods. I don't care what anybody says. The reason people have food sensitivities is because they start eating the same food over and over and over and over and over again, okay? Eventually it becomes a sensitivity. Or they eat the food in excess for a period of a few days and it turns into a sensitivity. If they never ate that food in excess, or every single day, or day after day, they wouldn't have developed a sensitivity in most cases. Your immune system has to have consistent exposure to something for it to become a obvious irritant, okay? So rotating diet and supplements is critical if you want to get over this. Restoring the gut. The things that helped me with my gut the most were removing the issues in my diet, the irritants in my diet, most important, but also raw bovine colostrum, bifidobacterium. There was a supplement by Seeking Health called Probiota Bifido, Lactobacillus rhamnosus, Lactobacillus plantarum 299V, B. propolis, etc. Okay? There are plenty of other ones. Another one's Japanese knotweed powder. That could be helpful for the stomach, the bacteria growing. So those are the things they use to help restore the gut. Critical though, that you must have the right diet, otherwise your gut is going to get inflamed and these things are not going to be as effective. Okay, next step, reconditioning the mast cells I want to mention. You have to remove the stressors and the irritants from your lifestyle, your diet, your environment, otherwise the mast cells will keep growing in population and they will keep getting more and more reactive. So it's key that you identify all the potential irritants in your environment, okay? The food, the supplements, the pharmaceuticals, what you're inhaling, you know, what you're doing with your physical activity. You have to keep these things, you have to make sure you're not doing things that are triggering the mast cells into activation. Otherwise, the population will keep increasing and they'll be more reactive, like I said. So to recondition the mast cells, you have to use things that are mast cell modulators after removing all the irritants. As I had mentioned in the supplements, the restoring the gut in the supplements, you want to do this on a rotation basis. You want to maybe take a supplement every other day. You want to not take anything day after day after day, or it could cause you issues. So reconditioning the mast cells is mostly about taking things that are mast cell modulators, that are natural, that are not synthetic, on a rotation, rotating your foods to make sure you're not triggering yourself there, reducing or eliminating any supplements that are synthetic or that are not mast cell modulators, and eliminating anything from your life that is potentially causing you to have mast cell reactions, including even if you have to moving from somewhere. If you think that your indoor issue, your indoor environment is contributing to your issue. So you must recondition the mast cells to be able to get over this, and it's a process, okay? Targeting remaining pathogens, okay? You have to target the remaining pathogens after doing all these other things, otherwise you won't have lasting success with them. In addition, while you're targeting the remaining pathogens, you have to be detoxing and eliminating properly, otherwise you won't be able to get rid of them, okay? To increase detox and elimination, you want to be able to take things that help you go to the bathroom more, right? That have bowel movements. You know, chlorella was very helpful for me. Bovine colostrum, once again, very helpful for me. Japanese knotweed root, very helpful for me. Triphala, another one, very helpful. So these things are all very helpful in increasing elimination and detox of the system, okay? You know, it's essential if you want to be able to get rid of the pathogens. terms of getting rid of the pathogens, it all is going to depend upon what type of pathogens you're dealing with. Most of the time, people are dealing with parasites whenever you have mast cell activation, or multiple bacterial infections, or multiple infections and a virus, right? The last thing you want to target is a virus, right? You want to fix everything else beforehand, other than the virus. Parasite-wise, you know, they're only going to be as bad as your body is out of whack. There's studies that have shown that parasites the amount of parasites are in direct correlation with the toxicity of an environment. So you got to go ahead and start detoxing, and in the process working on parasites. Parasites, you know, I use diatomaceous earth, I've used the Japanese knotweed root, I've used various other things. I mean, the colostrum is helpful also for it. Bacterial infections, colostrum, the B. propolis, the bifidobacterium are very critical. Viruses, you know, I got the silver, the Japanese knotweed root, the list goes on. I'll go over all those in another video, but you got to target the remaining pathogens, but you have to do it in a way where you're not overdoing it with your body or stressing your body too much, okay? So that's very critical. And if you don't detox while you're targeting these pathogens, you're not going to be able to get rid of them. You're just going to keep on recirculating the toxins as you're trying to get rid of these parasites or infections. So very critical to understand these points. Lastly, stress reduction techniques. You have to have some type of stress reduction technique to get over the neurological, neurological reconditioning, or the neurological issues that have developed from these reactions. You need to retrain your limbic system. This can be done through deep breathing, meditation, yoga, things that are calming to the system. You have to implement these things to be able to get over these immune responses. Otherwise, the rest of these things you'll kind of run into a brick wall at one point and still have trauma and still have other things that'll lead you back to doing things that'll make the symptoms worse. So if you have questions, I want to go over this video real quick. I know it's a very complex topic, but I know most people aren't watching videos much longer than 10 minutes or so, so I want to go over everything the best I could. If you have questions, put them in the comments, or feel free to reach out to me on my website, endsickness.org. Remember, this is not a video used to, should not be used for medical advice. This is simply for informational purposes only, based on my experience, my daughter's experiences, and the scientific evidence I've come across along with my client experiences. So hope you've enjoyed it, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.